Clash Royale has not been doing well. Many players have quit and the user base has fallen steeply from 45 million to less than 8 million in just 9 months. These numbers make you wonder if the game is even salvageable anymore. Level 16's edition was the last straw for everyone, painting Supercell in a very bad light. The promise of no new levels after level 15 was broken. Heroes got a lot of hate as well, because it just felt like yet another cash grab. Creators felt alienated and balance changes just kept on nerfing previously broken cards. The game felt stagnant, with each update worse than the previous. But the thing is, Clash Royale has been in graveyards before. It's clawed its way back from dead game status more than once, and every single time, it was because Supercell finally started listening again. That is the pattern. That's the hope. And right now, for the first time in a long time, there are actual signs that they're listening. Among all this noise, a ray of hope arose, in the form of Chaos Mode. Everyone loved it, and for once, we felt heard. Expo turned to Sparkies, P.E.K.K.A spawned right on King Towers, it was unhinged in the best way possible. Chaos Season 2 was a glimmer of hope for people who loved the game. After a long time, the game felt fun, once again. And there was a reason to return back. The Ronin is a unique addition to the game as well, finally bringing a hard counter to many melee troops, and shaking the game like the Monk once did. After Goblin Curse and Vines, the parrying ability is the first new concept to be implemented in a long time. Ronin parries incoming melee hits and reflects the damage back, harder than when it came in. Throw a P.E.K.K.A hit at him at the wrong moment, and that P.E.K.K.A gets decimated. Mega Knight, Prince, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Boss Bandit, every single heavy melee threat in the game now has to respect this card or get punished for ignoring it. And crucially, it's not a broken, unbeatable wall either. Cheap swarm troops like skeletons and spirits can bait out the parry and neutralize him. That's what a well-designed card actually looks like. High skill ceiling, real counterplay, and a genuine reason to rethink your decks instead of just net decking whatever's strongest. But it'll take more than just a new game mode and a card to bring Clash Royale back. The good news is, with just a few changes to the game, we're potentially looking at a huge comeback, like we witnessed back in 2025. Supercell has proven that they can turn this ship around before. They just need to commit to it fully instead of one good update followed by 3 questionable ones. So let's talk about what that actually looks like. The first thing Clash Royale needs to do is make it simple. The screen is just full of buttons, which is very scary for a new player. What do you even click on this screen? Please, Supercell, you have a shop page to put all of your offers in. Make the main screen empty. I need to know where to click to play the game first. Collecting rewards and paying for features is secondary. Imagine a new player downloading the game for the first time, hyped to build a deck and battle, and instead they're greeted by 6 different currencies, 4 banners, advertising offers, a season pass reminder, and a chest that they don't even understand yet. Strip it back, one big glowing play button, front and center. Everything else could be hidden neatly into menus where a player can find it when they're actually ready to look for it. Respect the players, and it's the single easiest win on this entire list, because it doesn't require new content, new art, or a new balance philosophy. It just requires Supercell to trust that a clean screen sells the game better than a cluttered one ever could. Clans are a total mess and need a total overhaul from start to finish. The layout is very confusing even as a veteran. Clan wars are in shambles, no one even remembers them. The whole purpose of clans is very confusing. Earlier they were a very good source of gaining cards as you could just request and trade with your clanmates. Now buying cards from the shop is much more efficient. Trade tokens are completely forgotten with barely any ways to get them. They were so fun when they launched. We need more of that right now in the game. Here's the hopeful part though. The bones of a great clan system are still sitting right there in the game files, mostly untouched. Card requesting and trading used to be one of the most social, community-driving features Clash Royale ever had. It gave players an actual reason to log in daily and actually talk to their clanmates instead of just battling in silence. Bring trade tokens back into regular rotation, rework clan wars into something with cleaner, visible stakes and rewards worth choosing, and give clan leaders real tools to build a community instead of a leaderboard nobody checks. This is a feature that's largely already built. It just needs to be dusted off, reprioritized, and given the spotlight it deserves. Next up, 2v2 chaos. Please add modes that I can play with my friends. That is what the true essence of the game used to be. Hopping on with friends for 2v2 battles, dominating them in draft, and the RNG of touchdown, that's what made Clash Royale special. Right now it feels like a chore, something that I need to get over with on a daily basis. And this is genuinely one of the more solvable problems on this list, because Supercell has already hinted that a proper 2v2 league is in development. If that lands the way it should, a real competitive structure for playing with a friend, complete with its own rewards and ranking, not just a side mode bolted onto the main menu, that alone could bring back an enormous chunk of the social, casual audience that made this game blow up in the first place. Clash Royale was never meant to be played alone in silence, grinding ladder like it's a second job. It was meant to be loud, chaotic, no pun intended, and shared with a friend on the other side of a Discord call, screaming and cursing about 2.6 hog cycle. Give us reasons to hop back into that experience and people will come back for their friends even if they wouldn't have come back for the ladder alone. Cosmetics. Players have been begging for cosmetics, and the closest thing which comes to cosmetics are the banners, which show up for like 2 seconds before a match starts. We want real cosmetics, like Brawl Stars has. We don't care about unlocking thousands of emotes only to use 2 of them to taunt our opponent. I mean, we've got... Why use anything else? Allow me to customize my Mega Knight and Hog Rider, not just make them a little golden with 100 of thousands of unused points that I have. And honestly, the appetite is clearly already there in the player base. Look at how much hype exists around every skin drop, every new emote, every cosmetic tease in the other Supercell games. Supercell even started experimenting with a new crystal currency specifically earmarked for cosmetics, and that's a promising signal that the direction is at least on their radar. But right now, those crystals mostly buy emotes that nobody uses. Take that same infrastructure and actually let players reskin their troops, recolor their towers, personalize their elixir bar. It's not a small ask, technically. The game already renders unique models for evolutions, so the pipeline for visual variety clearly exists. It just needs to be pointed at players expressing themselves instead of Supercell squeezing one more purchase out of them. Lucky drops. Just bring back the old chests. Just bring back the old chests. There was no reason whatsoever to delete them. Everyone loved them, and the lucky drops are extremely boring and annoying. You get out of a game and it's shoved in your face. The odds of getting a 5-star drop are close to 0. Even in Brawl Stars, you get 3 chances to upgrade on each new drop. That's what makes them so much better. Meanwhile, in Clash, you got a maximum of 4 chances to upgrade, and you gotta go all the way from 1-star to 5-star. It's basically impossible to get good drops. And even when you do get a good drop, the rewards could be completely useless to you. In the era of chests, players had genuine excitement waiting for a magical chest to unlock, and even waiting a whole day for a legendary chest countdown. That anticipation was half the fun of the reward loop. Reviving that system, or at minimum, applying its generosity and predictability to the current lucky drop structure, would cost Supercell almost nothing, and would win back a huge amount of goodwill overnight, because it's not asking for anything new. It's asking for something that already worked to come back. Path of Legends. Make it separate from the trophy road. There's no reason I need to have a certain number of trophies to be eligible to play a game mode. All it does is reduce the players for Path of Legends and those that can't even aim for the rewards now. Ranked and casual should be 2 clearly distinct lanes, each with its own audience and its own pacing. A player who just wants to relax and tried weird decks on the ladder shouldn't be locked out of a competitive mode simply because their trophy count doesn't match some arbitrary gate. And a player choosing ranked glory shouldn't feel punished for taking a break from grinding trophies. Decouple the two. Let both playstyles breathe, and Path of Legends stops bleeding the exact players it was built to reward in the first place. The Events tab has been under construction for months now. Please move some of the game modes there, like the Chaos mode, and bring back some of the old fun game modes like Touchdown, Infinite Elixir. Many of the old game modes are out of the game now. We absolutely need them back, and this is genuinely one of the most fixable things on this entire list, because none of these modes need to be reinvented. They already exist. Fully coded, fully balanced, sitting in cold storage. Touchdown's chaotic, no tower damage football spin on Clash Royale was one of the most replayed modes in the game ever. Infinite Elixir turned every match into an absurd, laugh-out-loud sprint. Rotate these back in on the regular schedule, actually fill that events tab instead of leaving it blank for months, and you instantly give players a reason to check in beyond the daily ladder grind. Actually, you know what? Go a step beyond and allow us to mix up different game modes together, at least for friendly battles. I mean, imagine an Infinite Elixir Chaos mode, or Infinite Elixir Touchdown, or Mega Deck with Chaos. Those are the kinds of ideas that open up possibilities for the players as well instead of limiting them. Bring back Global Tournament. The event tab is empty because there are no events. I mean, come on. Global tournaments were a great way for free-to-play players to progress in the game. Bring it back! This is maybe the clearest example of a feature that helped everyone and hurt no one. It let free-to-play players compete on a level playing field, earn meaningful rewards without spending a cent, and feel like their skill actually mattered against the rest of the world. Removing it didn't just take away content, it took away one of the game's best arguments against the pay-to-win criticism that's followed Clash Royale for years. Bringing it back would be a direct, unmistakable signal that Supercell still values its free-to-play community, and that message alone could do wonders for how the game is perceived. I won't really ask for the seasonal shop this time because although it was great for progression, it added a new currency. Now is not the time for newer features, it's time to fix what's wrong, and that restraint matters. The fastest way to lose trust further would be piling on yet another currency, yet another system to learn, on top of a game that already feels bloated with options. The healthiest thing Supercell can do right now isn't invent, it's repair. Simplify, restore, and polish what's already there before introducing anything new. Stop forcing game modes players don't want, Supercell. We really don't care about the latest edition of the Monk in Merge Tactics. Merge Tactics makes no sense whatsoever. Even the card stats aren't consistent with other modes. Honestly, it should just be burnt all the way down to the ground. And to be fair, Merge Tactics has grown into its own auto-battler ecosystem with its own seasons, rulers, traits, and balance patches running almost independently off the main game. But that's kind of exactly the problem. It's being developed with the same attention and update cadence as core Clash Royale. And for players who came here to play Clash Royale, not an auto-battler spin-off, that attention feels stolen. If Merge Tactics is going to keep existing, it needs to exist off to the side, clearly optional without eating into the resources and attention that the core game desperately needs right now. Recently, the progression of king levels got changed. Now you need to upgrade cards to unlock new levels, which honestly is a very weird concept, seen in no other game. This really limits the creative content that creators make, like having level 1 king tower with level 16 cards, or trying to beat the game with a level 1 king tower. Plus, it complicates the game for newbies as well. It's a genuinely strange design when you sit with it, tying two separate progression systems together so tightly that neither one can move independently anymore removes an entire category of the creative can I beat the game with this ridiculous restriction content that creators have built entire channels around. Decouple them again, let king level and card level breathe as their own separate journeys the way they used to, and you can get both a simpler system for new players to understand and a wider creative sandbox for the people making content that keeps this game culturally alive. Economy changes. After so long, the worth of gems was changed, which reduced how much they were worth. What you could get with 1 gem before, you would need to pay 2 for now, for example. Obtaining cards became much more expensive after the rework. Massive game economy changes should be avoided. It ruins months and years of effort of many players, leaving them helpless. To Supercell's credit though, some of the recent economy work wasn't all bad. Cutting elite wildcards out entirely and going back to a simpler card plus gold system was, on paper, a genuine attempt to fix a currency that even Supercell admitted felt confusing and unrewarding. But good intentions on one axis don't excuse quietly devaluing the currency players actually paid real money for on another. If gems buy less than they used to, that is a stealth price increase, and players notice that instantly. The fix here isn't complicated. Stop making the value of what players already own a moving target. Consistency is what builds trust, and trust is the one resource this game is currently running lowest on. Heroes. Ah man, this is where it gets tricky. Deleting a feature as big as heroes is very difficult, so maybe they could make it easier to unlock newer heroes. The balance between evolutions and heroes is of utmost importance to ensure the stability of the game. Heroes were always going to be a lightning rod the moment they were announced, because they represented the single biggest power spike the game had introduced since evolutions. And to be fair to Supercell here, the Season 85 patch actually shows some self-awareness on this front. A coordinated wave of nerfs is landing across multiple hero and evolution cards at once: Evo Executioner, Hero Magic Archer, Hero Balloon, and Hero Knight, all getting reined in simultaneously. The next step is making the path to actually unlocking and leveling these heroes feel less like a grind reserved for whales and more like an achievable milestone for a dedicated free-to-play player, too. New cards. It's been ages since we got a new good card. Until Ronin came. Supercell, we love good cards. Not overpowered, but unique and functionally different. Also, please stop releasing broken cards so that everyone buys the pass, only to nerf it in the next season. He arrived almost a full year after the last new card, Vines, and instead of being a bigger number stapled onto an existing archetype, he introduced an entirely new interaction: parry timing. Matchup dependent value, and it's a card that rewards actually understanding the fight in front of you instead of just slamming your biggest tank. That's the design philosophy players have been begging for. More cards like this. Cards that expand what's possible instead of just inflating stats. And the "we love good cards" energy in this section writes itself into reality. Finally, card levels. Level 16 was clearly a cash grab, but that was not the only reason people started leaving. It was the feeling of betrayal that the players felt. When elite wildcards were announced, no one was happy, but the relieving fact was the promise to never add any new levels. We, trusting this promise, invested a staggering amount of time and resources. With this new update, the investment had been devalued overnight. Our hard-earned level 15 cards have been functionally downgraded to what was previously level 14, rendering 2 years of progress virtually meaningless. This felt less like a new update and more like a forced reset that disrespects the time and dedication of their most loyal players. When loyal supporters feel like they're being kicked in their gut, they'll speak up and often leave. Trust is a big factor for many players, regardless of how big or small of a mobile game it is. If you want somebody to play your game daily and have a great time, you need to listen to them. And here's what I want to leave this video on. Clash Royale has been counted out before. People called it a dying game back in 2021, back in 2023, and every single time a handful of the right changes brought millions of players flooding back in. Chaos Mode proved the appetite for genuine fun and experimentation is still there. Ronin proved the design team still knows how to ship a genuinely great, skill-rewarding card. The level 16 mid-rollout reversal proved Supercell will actually adjust course when the community pushes back hard enough. Every single piece of the comeback formula has already shown up somewhere in the last year. It's just scattered instead of consistent. Bring simplicity back to the home screen. Bring the social heart back to clans. Bring back the modes, the tournaments, the chests that made this game feel generous instead of extractive. Keep the pace of good decisions like Ronin and Chaos Season 2 going, instead of undercutting them with the next questionable economy change. It's time that Supercell starts working on these issues and restores Clash Royale back to its former glory. The path back isn't a mystery anymore, it's sitting right there in plain sight, built out of the exact wins we've already seen this year. All Supercell has to do now is choose it, consistently, update after update, and honestly, for the first time in a long time, I actually believe they might. So, holding out hope. If you want to hear me rant more about Supercell's bad decision making, well, I've got a video lined up for you on screen right now. Hopefully you'll click it, and I'll see you there.